We'd all like to be in that position. We'd all like to be in that position.
We've got some other chairs we're putting over here if anybody needs to.
Ready to go underway?
What?
Look, sir.
Bariatric or geriatric?
Come on.
Yep.
Well, this one suits me fine.
Well, yeah, my understanding when I read it was it's alphabetical at the beginning, but then the closing statement would be whoever didn't go first. So it'll be reverse alphabetical.
Okay, all right. So you start, I finish.
Yes.
All right, okay. Yeah. I've been literally just moving, it seems like.
All right, good evening.
So I just go from thing to thing.
You and me both.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to begin. So if everybody could find a seat and welcome everybody. Today is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. This forum will feature the two candidates for mayor, vote for one, from 7 o'clock to 7:30. The term for mayor is 2 years. And then from 7:35 or thereabouts until 8:15, we'll feature the candidates for city council. The term for city council is 4 years. The League of Women Voters Oakland area is the sponsor of this forum. I am Kevin McLogan, a member of the League of Women Voters. I am not a resident of Madison Heights, although I did go to high school here. The League of Women Voters is a trusted national, nonpartisan political organization. Our members do the hands-on work to safeguard democracy. While we never endorse a candidate, we are directly involved in shaping the important issues that keep our community strong. As a member of the League of Women Voters, I have the opportunity to contribute in a leadership role such as this one that has great impact on local, state, and even national issues. If you are interested in learning more about how you can make a similar impact, I would encourage you to visit our website at lwvoa.org. The League of Women Voters does not endorse any candidate or political party. Views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates, and the sponsors take no responsibility. The format for this forum has been established by the League of Women Voters. We ask that the audience remain silent during the forum. Please turn off all cell phones. We ask the candidates answer the questions with their views only and not interrupt another candidate. The questions will be asked of all the candidates and will not single out one candidate. This presentation is copyrighted 2025 by the League of Women Voters. All rights are reserved. Candidates will be answering questions submitted by the audience and screened for duplication and appropriateness by Mary Schusterbauer and Marie Donegan. The pages, Deborah Flegel and volunteers from the Madison Heights Women's Club will be circulating with note cards and pencils for your questions. Please use one card for each question. After you have written your questions, please return your cards to the pages. The format will be as follows. Candidates will be given 1 minute for opening statements. Closing statements will be 1 minute in reverse order. Candidates will have 1 minute to answer each question in rotation unless extended by the moderator. All candidates will be allowed equal time to answer questions. Our timer this evening is Anna Rizze. Raise your hand. She's in the front row. The candidates will be shown a 15-second sign, and so they'll have 15 minutes to wrap up their thoughts, and the stop sign will be shown when time is expired. The candidates for mayor are Corey Haynes and Quinn Wright. We're going to begin with opening statements. We're going to start with Mr. Haynes.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for bringing us together tonight. My name is Corey Haynes, and for over 30 years, I've had the privilege of serving Madison Heights as a police officer, as your police chief, and later as a deputy city manager. But most importantly, I'm a husband, a father, a coach who cares deeply about the future of our community, the community that we call home. I'm running for mayor because I believe in Madison Heights is full of potential. Together, we can build a city where families feel safe, where kids have the opportunity to succeed, and where every resident has a voice in shaping our future. Leadership is about service, and I'm ready to lead with integrity, transparency, and a commitment to bringing people together. Tonight is about vision, and mine is simple: a stronger, safer, and more connected Madison Heights for all of us. Thank you.
Yet there's no, please don't clap. There's no reaction. So let's, yeah, clap at the end. Mr. Wright?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Quinn Wright. I, too, am a father and a husband. I am a coach as well. I am a member of this community. I've lived here for the past 20 years now. My wife and I planted roots here. Before we started, we didn't have kids, and we had our first kid. We rented here, then we bought our first home, then we bought our second home. And I also am a business owner. I'm a financial planner by trade. I have my own practice. And additionally, I'm running for mayor because I believe that the next steps we take are crucial to the direction we go, and I think that I'm the person to lead us forward. I believe that what we have to do is rebuild some fundamentals that all communities are trying to rebuild, and I call them the 3 C's: caring, collaboration, and community. You see, because under these keystone ideas is the building of a community, and on top of that, I want to talk about workforce housing, health services, and taxes. And so thank you guys for having me here today, and I got to pay attention to that clock because I'm already down to 15 seconds, so good to meet you all.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start the first question with Mr. Haynes. If elected, what 3 steps would you take to put our city on firmer financial footing?
The first step I would take is doing another deep dive into the current budget that we have now to see where we're at, what are we spending every dollar on, where can cuts be made, and are there necessary cuts? Are there things that we cannot cut? As we probably all know, the single largest expense in the budget for a city is personnel, right? So we need to balance that with knowing how many personnel we have, how many personnel we need, what kind of equipment do we need, and let's start looking there. Could you repeat that part of the question again, please? I'm sorry, just so I make sure I got it right.
What 3 steps would you take to put our city on firmer financial footing?
Thank you. The second, again, is part of that is looking at our tax base, looking at our tax rate, reviewing that tax rate, and seeing where we need to go from here and what we can do to make that better. And also really collaborating with our residents to see where we need to be, what our residents feel where things need to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wright?
Yeah, so I think that one of the things we do need to talk about is specifically taxes and not necessarily the budget, but our financial statement, and we need to take a look at our bond fund. Right now, we have a very healthy bond fund. Right now, I think we're sitting at, I think I wrote down we were at like $15.8 million. And so what that means is that the health of our ability to pay our bills is well. And so those are the parameters that we need to take a look at. We need to take a look at those specific type of measuring things. Also, as a member of the business community, I understand that we need to focus on attracting new businesses that will carry that tax burden as well as new residents, because the truth of the matter is our newer residents will pay higher taxes than our folks who have been here for 20, 30, or 40 years. So we got to find a way to bring them in, and that's why I also talk about workforce housing, because the people who work here, our public safety, our nurses, our teachers, we want them to stay here because we want that tax dollar here. So we want to talk about budgeting. We want to talk about finding ways to attract new residents. And finally, we want to talk about the quality of life, because cuts can't come at the cost of the quality of life, because we have to take care of our first responders. We have to take care of our police and the urgent services that we need as a community.
Okay, thank you. Second question, we're going to start with Mr. Wright. With the division of the north and south sides of our city, how are you planning to bridge Madison Heights to build community and to stop this issue?
Well, that's a great question, and it's actually something not just we're dealing with from the north and the south side. It's something we're dealing with in the entire area, and that's why I start my foundation, the cornerstones, with being caring, collaboration, and community, because it's about finding those ways to get folks back to invest in the community and in each other. So one of the great examples is we talk about the trash program that I voted for. And, you know, we have some seniors who don't need a big trash can, but it's a great opportunity to get to know your neighbor and for your neighbors to get to know you and say, hey, I only have one trash bag. Can I put it in your can? We need to keep extending those olive branches across the city. That's also why in the past I've suggested we move city council meetings once in a while to the south side. So our south side folks, hey, no, we care about them. And also do other things like let's build business relationships to help the business folks not only invest in the things that make them money, but in the community for our residents to see that they are committed to the community. So I think it's all about putting together those opportunities for our community to find connection, to find collaboration together and things that they both agree on and can work on together.
All right, very good. When someone approaches you with the,
It's his turn.
oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, so there has always been, since I've been here, and I started here in 1992 as a police officer. And when I started here, that divide has been here. It's been here throughout the years, and it does need to change. We need to bridge that gap. It's more than just about your trash services. It's about people. It's about listening. And the most important part that I can be as mayor is to actually listen and then guide my decisions based on what I've heard, what I've learned, what I've investigated. That is, I seriously believe that we're lacking that in a lot of areas. A good point would be with the schools. You know, we have issues, you know, with the schools. We know that there's issues with the schools, but one of the things I did as the chief of police is I brought both schools together with the SRO program, the School Resource Officer program. So I want to continue to build those relationships with both school districts, build those relationships with the families, and have and collaborate and have more events in the south end of our city. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for Mr. Haynes. What ideas would you implement to help seniors with the rising cost of living?
So it is definitely a rising cost of living for everybody here in our city, including the seniors. And the seniors are probably the most affected because they are the ones that are on a fixed income. There are several things that we can do. One is we need to look at, again, we need to look at these taxes. Our taxes are extremely high. Where are we at? What can we do to lower the taxes? If we can't lower the taxes, what can we do to keep them stabilized? You know, we have an issue with water bills. You know, the water rates are high. I mean, all of these bills have a direct impact on your seniors. We need to work with them. We need to find out what programs can we look into, what grants are available for some of our seniors that may be having a tough time keeping their yards clean, having a tough time paying some of the bills, because what it comes down to a lot of times with our seniors is, you know, am I paying for medication today or am I paying the water bill? Am I paying for my groceries or am I paying my house payment? So anything that we can do to look at how to make it better for our seniors, I'm all for it.
Okay, Mr. Wright?
Can I ask you to repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What ideas would you implement to help seniors with the rising cost of living?
Well, I think some of the great ideas that we have revolve around helping to share the burden. Take it back to the idea first of workforce housing and bringing in new houses and new developments for first-time homeowners to help carry that tax burden, bringing in those businesses to help carry that tax burden so our seniors don't have to carry it as much, to help them with their costs. I mean, the idea that we're going to cut our way to saving the budget is not real because the cost the city incurs keep going up. So until the cost the city incurs come down, we can't bring down the prices. That's the reality of it because we see it with the trash and the program we laid out. We couldn't do a different program without adding $10 million to the budget. So that's what we chose to do was a program that saved costs. And those are the type of measures I think we're going to have to take going forward is making tough decisions and saying, hey, which would we prefer and how will we prefer to save money for our residents, and also bringing in partners like Oakland County, bringing in partners like the state to find programs to help save our seniors money and to help find grant programs, but also just more opportunities to bring in outside resources for them that'll help the city in the end.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start the next question with Mr. Wright. When someone approaches you with a new business or building proposal for Madison Heights, what is the first thing you consider in regards to the business impact on the city?
The first thing to consider is the impact, I mean, you just said it, the impact on the community. And is it going to be good for the community? Is it going to be a net positive or a net negative? Case, for example, I don't completely oppose the marijuana industry, but I did agree with us putting a limit on how many we have in the city, because I thought the tax dollars wasn't that positive, but I didn't think we should allow them to tell us when and what they were going to do, because as a city, we should maintain control. So the first thing I take a look at is their impact on the residents. How is it going to impact their quality of life? And is it going to truly bring a value, not just temporarily, but over the long-term plan? We do have a master plan, but every year we also have a strategic plan that we look at. And so how does it weave into the fabric of that master plan and weave into the fabric of the strategic plan that's laid out by the current city council who sets that agenda? So in my opinion, the first thing we need to look at is, again, that how does it impact all of our residents, residents and our business owners, and will it be a net positive to the community or a net negative?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Haynes?
Yes, so the first thing I would look at is what kind of business, there's actually two parts to it. What kind of business is it and where is it going? We have limited space in Madison Heights. We're pretty much built out. So a lot of the program, or a lot of the businesses that are coming into our city aren't going to be building on brand new property. They're going to be building or remodeling a building or tearing it down and rebuilding. What do they need? What impact is that going to have to our residential neighborhoods? Because it seems that some of the businesses that we've had, they come in and then all of a sudden they're encroaching on neighborhoods and changing the shape and changing the feel and changing how it's looked at. We need to look at what type of business is it? Do we need more car washes? Do we need more of a certain specific business than we already have? And is that good for the long term of the city? So those are the main things that I would look at the beginning. But most importantly is what benefit does it serve our residents versus the detractors to our residents.
Okay, thank you. So, next question, we're going to start with Mr. Haynes. City council requires, and the mayor is part of the city council, requires compromise. Describe a time when you changed your mind on an issue after hearing a different perspective.
I don't even know where to begin with that one because I have changed my mind so many times. Again, I look at things as being, I want to have the most information I can have before I finalize a decision. One that comes to mind almost immediately is several years ago when I was the chief of police, working very closely with city council, we wanted to bring back our special investigations unit. What that unit was and is a unit that works undercover operations, especially with our hotel area with human trafficking. Well, we also needed our gun range to be refurbished, majorly. When it came down to crunch time, I remember getting the call at about 9 o'clock at night, and the city manager said, Corey, here's where we're at. You can either have special investigations unit, or you can have a gun range. There was no thought in my mind as we need our special investigations unit because that's the impact that our residents need. That's what we need to see here. That's the most important thing on the plate, and we made the compromise, and we move forward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I mean, I think that learning is all about the evolution of gathering information and making a decision with what you know. And a lot of what we're asked to do here on City Council is to do just that. Before we get to a meeting, we get our briefings, we kind of have an idea, but once we get a little bit more feedback from the community, or we get a little bit more feedback on the project itself, it's a part of the process of having a fluid thought and not being so stuck on one thought that you aren't open to more feedback. And so I pride myself on doing that, on listening, on learning and understanding, digesting. I think we don't always do enough digesting. I think a good example related to the city was I personally was opposed to the distracted driving ordinance at first. I was precautious that it might lead to more problems than solutions. But as I look forward and kind of got a little bit of better understanding and paid attention to what we have in the areas, there's a lot of folks who aren't paying attention when they're driving. And so I changed my mind and said, hey, I have some concerns, but I'm hearing that it's going to be enforced this way. And so I think that was a good choice because a lot of folks do drive distracted. So please put down your cell phones, and if you could, silence them here.
Okay, thank you. Next question, just I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Short question. We'll start with you, Mr. Wright. Pretty simple question. Why do you want to be mayor?
I want to be mayor because I want to help set the agenda to move our city forward. I think I'm the most qualified with my experience as a financial planner. I have an experience in supply chain management as well as finance, and I think that my experience as a resident, father, as a person, helped me to be uniquely suited simply because of, understanding how to listen to all and understand perspectives that aren't my own, and to understand how to compromise. So compromise is important. So that's why I want to be mayor. I want to help us move our city forward.
Okay, Mr. Haynes?
Yes, I want to be mayor because I love everything about this city. I raised my family here. My kids are in the high school here and the middle school here. I'm a middle school track coach. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a lawyer. I worked in this city again for 32 years. I've seen the budget hundreds of times. I've worked through the budget. I've worked behind the scenes. I've worked with the city manager. I've worked with council. And I don't think there's anything or any person here has more experience than I do to lead this city forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both for staying within the parameters of 30 seconds. So.
It's tough.
All right, Mr. Haynes, we're going to start with you. What do you think is the number one infrastructure issue facing the city?
Number one infrastructure issue, I think, is going to be the roads. We have a lot of issues with our roadways. John R. is just one example. I know that that's getting some work done to it in some areas, but not in other areas that need it. DeQuinder is a major source of pain for all of us. And what I bring to the table on that, for that particular infrastructure issue is I have very close relations with Macomb County. I have very close relations with Oakland County, but Macomb County in particular, because DeQuinder, being a border street, is under Macomb County jurisdiction for roads. And I believe that I can bring that collaboration to the table in a very quick and efficient way, and hopefully get more done to improve those roads, as well as using the budget that we have to continue to improve the roads within our subdivisions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I do agree roads need to be repaired, but I know that Oakland County and the state and the city already have plans in place to address that. I think one of the bigger issues we need to address is the adaptive reuse of our main roads and our streets to draw in new businesses. And what that looks like is we look at 12 and John R. There's some buildings that need to be redone. How can we reimagine that? And how can we provide incentive for the business owners who have those spaces? When we look at 13 Mile and we have some buildings that are sitting empty and have been sitting empty for decades, how do we reutilize that space again to draw in more people, to increase our tax base, to share the tax burden for our seniors so they don't have to carry as much, so we don't have to cut capital improvements like we've had to do this year and we're going to have to do in the future because costs are rising faster than the taxes that we're bringing in. And so I think it's about understanding how to bring the entire city up, how to raise the whole boat, and rather than just to address one part, because the bigger issue isn't going to be, it might feel, if we fix one problem, we still have plenty other to address, so we have to figure out a way to raise the whole boat, and that's when it comes down to creative thinking and problem solving, is to address more than one problem at a time, just like we did with the trash cans.
Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Wright. If you received a $1 million grant to use for the city, any way you wanted, what would you do?
Ooh, I could think of a million things, but I think one of the main things when we talked about my 3 C's as community is I would work on the adding another third space. And what a third space is a place where people gather in the city. So a lot of what we talk about is how do we bring the community back together? Let's define some of those places that people can come together and hang out. We talk about the teenagers. Let's give them some spots where they want to hang out. We can create a space, but we need to design something that they actually want to come to. They want to play video games and they want to hang out in. So I would take that $1 million and I would work on the third space. Mental health is a big deal for me. So how can we create some more spaces for people just to let go and to relax and just have a minute to themselves or just breathe? So if I had $1 million, I would do that. That knowing that our budget in general is $66 million. So that $1 million, it is a hefty amount of money when you think about it. But at the same time, how can we most utilize that so everyone can get a piece of it and enjoy it? That would be my attempt.
Okay, Mr. Haynes?
Yes, rather than just having one additional space, I would use that $1 million for a couple of things, mainly to redo our parks. We have a lot of parks that need structural, new playground equipment. new spaces, new pavilions, that kind of stuff. But also, we have a lot of infrastructure issues. We always have had, and every city has it with our buildings. This is all new, but we have issues at DPW, that we could use that money to take away from the tax burden in the general fund and replace that with the grant money so that we could do other things with our general fund as far as more programs for the youth, more programs for the seniors, kind of, bring that full circle.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start with Mr. Haynes on this one, and it's kind of like a two-part question. How would you involve residents in the decision-making process in Madison Heights, and how do you plan to increase inclusivity in Madison Heights should you win?
So the first thing that I would do is we need to have more town hall, more town hall meetings where we actually go into different parts of the city and actually bring the residents in. And we need to do it more often than just one meeting or two meetings. We need to do as many as we need to make sure that we're getting attendance. A lot of people work different hours. So that is one thing that I think we need to do, and that's one way to bring the people together. We can also do things with online. We can do online surveys. I know that we've done that before. And it's really important, and again, this is what I'm really running on, is it's very important to get the input. I know that a lot of times with certain things, like if you just do a survey, you don't get a lot of input, or if you just have a town hall, but if we blend all those things together to bring that in, I think that we'll do a lot better.
Okay.
And as far as inclusivity, is making sure that everyone is included. We need to have events, like I said before, in the south end. We need to have events in the north end. We need to have events that blend the entire community, not focus on one certain area.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wright?
Can you just repeat the whole question?
Absolutely. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in Madison Heights, and how do you plan to increase inclusivity in Madison Heights should you win?
Yeah, so since I've been on council, one of the things I made it a point to is to talk to residents. Not talk to residents when there's an issue, but when there isn't an issue, and to listen to what they have to say and to try and understand their feedback. Like, for example, when we first took the vote on the trash cans, I was opposed to changing the process until I listened to residents who were more concerned about their taxes going up, who were more concerned about being on a fixed income. So listening to the residents is absolutely key. That's the collaboration and the caring part. But also more so understanding that it's a digital world. And so we have to try every avenue. Yes, we do have to use social media. Yes, we do have to have face-to-face. But more importantly is to continue to reach out to our residents with mailers, with all the attempts. And by the way, our staff right now is doing a fantastic job with the programs that we are doing, but continue to build those one-on-one connections with the residents so they know whether you agree with everything I say or not, I'm still going to listen to you, and I'm still going to bring back your thoughts and your beliefs to City Council to take it in as input. So that's what I would do, and inclusivity is just simply talking to people and seeing them where they are. So.
Okay, we're going to move to closing statements, and we're going to start with Mr. Wright. You have 60 seconds.
Well, I first want to start off by thanking the League of Women Voters for setting up this forum. This has been a fantastic event. The thing I want you guys to understand about my campaign is built on you. It's built on you, and selfishly, it's built on my daughters. Because this city is a city that they will inherit, and I need them to understand that this is theirs to do the work in. I want to show them the model. And so what I'm asking for you are two things. I'm asking for your support in voting for me, but also in helping to move the city forward. Because the truth of the matter is that we are not going to do this alone. Ordinances are not going to do it alone. The best master plan or strategic plan is not going to do it alone. It's going to take a community. It's going to take caring, and it's going to take collaboration. So I'm asking for your vote because I believe in you, and I believe in the future of our city, and I hope you believe in me and vote for me come November 4th. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Haynes?
Thank you. Again, thank you to the League of Women Voters, and thank you to every single one of you that joined us here tonight. Madison Heights is more than a city. It's our home. This is where we live. It's where we raise our families, it's where we cheer for our kids, and it's where we look out for our neighbors. I've dedicated the majority of my adult life to serving this community, and I believe that the best days are still well ahead of us. Together, we can create a Madison Heights where every family feels safe, where every child has a chance to thrive, and wherever every voice is heard, and more importantly, every voice is valued. This campaign is not about me. I want to be clear about that. It's about us. It's about the future that we can build side by side. With your trust and your support, I know we can write the next great chapter in Madison Heights' story, one of hope, unity, and progress for all. And I'm asking for your support on November 4th.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Yes. Well, I appreciate anybody that gets up and runs for office. Some of us are recovering politicians, and we understand. And thank you very much for the forum, and thank you to the audience. We're going to take about a 5-minute break and reset for the city council candidates. Thank you. you, everybody, for joining, and we're back with the second round with the city council candidates. And the candidates for city council are William Meir, Lori Geralds, and Toya Aaron. Ashley Strunk and Michael Covert are unable to attend, and Sidney Larry is no longer running. We'll begin with the 1-minute opening statements with Ms. Aaron.
Thank you.
And
Good evening.
make sure you have your microphone right up there.
Is this better?
And our timer is, keep an eye on the timer.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And first, I want to say thank you for the invite. I know originally I was not planning on coming because today is my birthday. But I decided what greater way to spend my 55th birthday with the people that I know have my back and I'm looking forward to. I have been a resident of Madison Heights for the past 17 years. I formerly served as city council in 2022 and ran defeatedly, sadly, I should say, in 2023, where I lost my seat. So I only had an opportunity to serve for 18 months. But in the duration of those 18 months, I realized that I had a passion for helping the council, making certain that every voice is heard, making certain that every person knows what's going on in our city, which is why I decided to come back so that I could finish the work that I had begun. Thank you.
Ms. Geralds?
So those of you who have known me for a long time know that for years, if anybody asked me if I was going to run for city council or mayor, that my answer was hell no, because this is not anything I ever thought I was going to do. I've been here for all but 3 years of my life. It's 60 out of 63 years. I'm involved in a lot of things in the community, and I have been for over 50 years. So I know a lot about the city. I don't know a lot about how the city council runs, but it's a city that I love very much. The reason that I ended up running was the write-in opening, and somebody who has been asking me to run, who called and said, "Nobody has a heart for the city like you do. You need to run." And I said, "Okay, I'll think about it." So I do. I have a heart for the city. I think my volunteerism shows that. And that's why I'm here.
Mr. Meir?
Hello, and thank you so much for having us here tonight. My name is William Meir. That will be on the ballot, but please just call me Bill. I've lived in Madison Heights for over 34 years now. It's the place that I proudly have called home for more than any other place that I've lived. For more than half my life, I've lived here. I'm a graduate with distinction from the University of Michigan Dearborn with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in economics. I spent the last 2 years as a member of the City Council and 10 years before that on the Lanford School Board. During my time in office, I've worked to reestablish the city school liaison position, and one of the things that we were able to do is we implemented speed radar signs near all the schools. I'm continuing to work with the schools on additional opportunities for students, families, and our community. If I'm elected to another term, I promise to work to keep Madison Heights a safe, welcoming place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to begin with the question part of the evening. So we're going to start with Ms. Aaron. What one thing have you done for the city that has made you most proud?
The one thing that I have done for the city is I remember the time when I brought in the financial literacy program at the library. During that time, we were going through some difficulties trying to figure out how we can make people more aware of becoming homeowners, how to manage money. So with the help of Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union, we brought in a program, a series that lasted for over the month of June. Every week, we discussed different financial opportunities. It was well attended, though I felt that there was much more work that should have been done in that programming and bringing it further. So that is one of the things that I plan to do, where we will be able to allocate more monies, knowing how to save our monies, where to spend our monies, looking at the different property values, knowing value amongst anything else in the city, I find to be very important. Where questions are being asked, So I want to make certain that the questions that are being asked can be answered and not just laid on the table.
Thank you. Ms. Geralds?
Probably the thing that I do is just collaboration through all the volunteering that I do. There's a lot of cross work and partnerships with a lot of organizations. So by doing those things, we do a lot for the veterans, we do a lot for the youth. Kevin Wright invited me to join the Citizens United, who has been really great about introducing Juneteenth and helping create bridges through conversations. So there isn't really one thing in particular. I think it's just the ability to work with groups that are partnering to do really great things for the city.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. So I've been a volunteer for a long, long time in the city. Spent 33 years of my 34 years volunteering for Madison Heights Little League Baseball. Probably the one thing I'm very proud of is after COVID, we shut down for a year, and our president passed away. And coming out of that COVID year, we picked the league back up. I kind of helped drive that revitalization of the league, and we gave the youth of Madison Heights something to do other than get into trouble. So we built that program from 2021 to 142 kids this year. We had 178 kids that participated. So pretty proud of having that opportunity for our youth to get out and play. So thank you.
Okay. Next question, and we're going to start with Mr. Muir. With less income from state and federal sources, what is your plan to create a better and more affordable city without raising taxes?
Wonderful. That's actually, you just cut into my closing statement. I'm afraid cuts are coming from the state and federal fundings. So I certainly don't want to raise taxes, so that means we need to cut some things, or prolong things, or as was mentioned in the mayoral discussion, you got to look at head count and see what we can do there. The city's already doing that, and any open position needs to get approved, so we'll continue to do that. We may have to look at some special proposals for reevaluating your taxes, so don't get excited that we're going to raise taxes. We may decrease millage for something that's earmarked that we can do that with, and look for maybe a millage to fund emergency vehicles or something along that lines. So.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Aaron?
One of the things that I never want to do is have people lose their jobs. So with the lack of income and funding coming into the city, I feel that one of the things we need to do is do a need assessment. Basing that needs on what is needed for the city. How can we take this money that we already have in our budget and reallocate it towards other sources? Far as opposed to eliminating positions, perhaps taking those same people and using them in resources where they're most needed. We have a need for our seniors. We have a need for our youth. We have a need for our disabled. So sometimes those needs are not being met because we just don't have the resources. But we're probably spending money in other areas that are not necessary or no longer needed. So if we begin to reallocate those funds and placing them into those areas, we will have our city to grow better.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Geralds?
I don't have a particular answer on that, quite honestly. I believe that is something that our council would discuss. I don't know what the discussions have been as far as the budgets and the budget cuts in the past. And I believe that a strong council working together with a strong staff, which we already have, is going to continue to try and make the best decisions they can with what they have. I believe in our staff. I believe the council can do that as well.
Okay, thank you. So the next question, we're going to start with Ms. Geralds. City council requires compromise. Describe a time when you changed your mind about an issue after hearing a different perspective.
Okay. I feel like that happens fairly regularly, so probably one recently is there has been a lot of discussion about the 11-mile diet, and I was not a part of the meeting forums that they invited people to. I hadn't done any of the research on it, and quite honestly, when I was looking at the proposal, I was very confused about it and unsure. So I kind of walked in to talk to Harley and kind of was like, okay, you have to help me understand this because there are a lot of people upset about it, and I don't know what I'm seeing. What I think I'm seeing is I don't think what's really happening. And so Harley gave me a better understanding of what was going on, and I read more materials. And it is a tricky topic, but I believe that the DDA gave a lot of people the opportunity to research it and get information, and I'll support them for what was decided.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Meir?
Yeah, probably the one thing that I've done on council in my management career for business application managers, changed my mind quite often when my team would help me understand the full facts. And that's the thing, I listen. The one thing on city council that I have done was probably the marijuana expansion. I'm a money guy, and when we first started talking about that topic, that was actually right when I came on council, the money sounded great. And as I talked to some of the folks out there, the last thing they wanted was more marijuana places in this city. So I put my money hat aside and said, I got to vote no. Just got to vote no for the marijuana places. So after doing a little bit of digging and again, thinking through what the citizens wanted, I changed my mind.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Aaron?
Thank you. One of the things that I had to build compromise on when I sat in council, as Mr. Meir just explained, in 2023, we were facing a lawsuit. And it was a lawsuit based upon the marijuana industry. I was heavily opposed with even bringing another marijuana industry into the city. However, because as council people, there's a lot of talk behind the scenes, and we have to collaborate and communicate amongst one another. In those meetings, I found it imperative to save the residents' tax dollars and money that, though I was opposed to doing so, in agreement with everyone else to save our city, I voted yes. Do I regret it? Some days I do. Some days I don't. But I will do it again if it means that I'm protecting all of us in this room. Because every decision that I make not only affects you all, it affects me and my son as well. Tax dollars, I can't afford them.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start the next question with Ms. Aaron. And this is kind of an interesting one.
Oh, no.
No, it's kind of a fun question, but
Okay.
give us a little insight into how you feel. Which 4 officials, past or present, would you put on your Mount Rushmore of Madison Heights? Why do they inspire you, and how could you emulate them on council?
If I had to put an official on Mount Rushmore, it will be Bob Corbett. The reason being, not only was I appointed after his passing, but one thing that I liked about Mr. Corbett, he kept balance on council. Mr. Corbett spoke his mind, and he was also a graduate of the University of Detroit. Mercy, woo woo. But he spoke his mind, yet when he spoke spoke with eloquence, and he spoke with dignity to make certain that though he did not agree with everything that was going on, you never saw him dispute what another person said in public. He was one that immense communication and collaboration. Teamwork was his way. So I would definitely have to put Bob Corbett on Mount Rushmore.
Who are your other 3?
He only asked for one.
You can do one. You can do one. You can do up to 4. So, Ms. Geralds? Oh, go ahead. If you have someone else you want to,
Margene. Margene Scott would definitely be on Mount Rushmore.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Geralds?
I've been around the city and involved in the political side since the 60s. And honestly, I couldn't answer that question because there have been a lot of strong leaders. There have been a lot of not strong leaders. Probably more important to me are the things that I've learned from both sides. I've learned great things from great mentors, and I've learned things that I don't like from other people that I don't think are strong. So I probably would not specifically name 4 people.
Okay. Mr. Meir?
Great question. So, going back to some of the early days, Mayor Solberg kind of was the first woman, female mayor, and did some good things for the city. Mr. Swanson was around, a mayor for a long time as well. My friend Margene Johnson Scott, with all of her wonderful years that she gave to the city and all the things she continues to give to the city, but probably the head of that Mount Rushmore would be Gary McGilvery. He has served so many roles in mayor for a while, council for a while, our county commissioner. He's done some fantastic things for the city, and he's the reason I'm sitting here. He encouraged me to run for city council about 4 years ago, and here I am today. So.
Okay, thank you. Next, we're going to start with Mr. Meir. And this question is, what do you think is the -- infrastructure issue facing the city?
Just one. I think we heard it in the mayoral discussion. Is really I think the top 2. There's the roads, including the main roads, but also some of the side streets that I've gone through the scoring that we do in some of these side streets that are weighted as fair. I walk my dog down those streets and I'm like, I'm not sure this street's going to last much longer. So, and then vacant buildings, we've got to come up with a plan to fill those buildings. And we're working on an economic development plan, and I'm kind of pushing to keep that to get finished because I want to see what we have planned to try and fill some of those buildings to help bring dollars in so we can help fix those roads. So, thanks.
Okay, Ms. Aaron?
I would have to agree with Mr. Meir. The blight needs to end. We have to find ways to bring businesses into our city and utilize buildings that have been standing for a long time. Many of those buildings, people may not even know, their grandchildren are now owning them and just holding on to them, perhaps for tax dollars, I'm not really sure. But there needs to be better utilization of those buildings. So if we have to think of, make sure I'm not getting the question correct, repeat it for me, please.
What do you think is the #1 infrastructure issue facing the city?
Yes. Just looking at that, I believe that we need to, if we can even begin with just refacing them so that they can begin to look beautiful. You know, a refaced building makes things look a little bit better. Although it's not being utilized, it's pretty until we can find ways to use that building. Getting us a project manager that's out here selling buildings for small businesses to come into our city so that we can bring in those extra tax dollars, my words, forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Geralds?
I support all of that. Truly, the top thing, I think, is the blight and the vacant buildings. And not just in the businesses, but in some of the housing areas as well. And so I would love to see some focus. And I'm not going to say that there isn't focus there. I'd like to understand what the city focus is on doing those things, and if there's other ways that they could be supported.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, we're going to give you 30 seconds to answer. Why do you want to be elected to city council? Ms. Geralds, we're going to start with you.
I believe that the time is right for somebody who has my years of leadership and history with the city to help come strengthen the council and help move forward.
Okay. Mr. Muir?
2 years is not enough. A lot of the things that we've had to vote on in the last 2 years were things that started before I was here. So I had to kind of choose the lesser of two evils in my mind. There's a lot more that I want to do with city school liaison and get more of a reputation or more of a collaboration going there, and keep working on that and trying to help through this fiscal picture that's coming up.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Aaron?
As stated, 18 months was not enough time. There's a lot that I want to see done in the city. My focus is community-driven. I believe in the community. I believe that I have a heart for this city, that I want to make certain that we, as a community, grow. That is my biggest passion, growth in the city. As I stated when I was sitting on council, the city is getting younger. So as it gets younger, we need to make certain that the focus is being developed where generations will continue to be in our city. I would love.
I would love that.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to start with Ms. Aaron again.
Okay.
What ideas would you implement to help seniors with the rising cost of living?
That's a very tough question. And I'm saying that because I have a senior in my household. So looking at the rising costs, many times seniors are choosing between medication and food. So how do we go about doing it? Really, to be honest, guys, I don't have the answer. I don't have one particular answer. I want to make certain that our seniors understand that there are resources out there from the state, from the higher up government that will help them. But what can we do really as a community? It's going to take a lot more research and a lot more digging into for me to come up with one solution. And is there really one solution? No. Because we find that one, there's going to always be something different. Today, I became a senior citizen, so I have to look. I'm that population now, so what can we do? When I find the answer, I guarantee you all will know the answer to that question.
Okay, Ms. Geralds?
I support some of what you're saying and what was stated during the mayor comments, and that is we need to find out more about what county and state resources are available, whether they are being shared with our residents. I'm not sure that they always are, but again, we'll find ways to get that information out and see what we can do. The Madison Heights Food Pantry currently does deliveries to the former Sahlberg Towers for a lot of people, and there are people still on the waiting list, so we feel that need for people to get supported.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Muir?
I wish there was a magic button to do that. One of the things that, I certainly am a proponent of trying to keep seniors in their homes. I am one of them, and I live on a street with 13 houses, and like 8 of us are senior citizens. So I want to keep trying offering programs to help the seniors with some of their expenses. We do some of that today with lawn services and shoveling in the winter. And we have some community block grants that we try and assist the seniors with. So keep looking for things like that. Look to see if there's any available grant money that will specifically to seniors. Again, anything we can do that's not going to raise taxes. So, I mean, that's the difficulty is you got to kind of, when we talked about budgeting and how would you manage that, we got to try to keep those funds for those seniors in the budget.
Okay, thank you. Start with Mr. Muir. And we're just going to have a couple more questions just because we started a little later than we originally planned. So let's count on two more 1-minute questions. So just give you a little heads up, and then we can do the
Thank you.
closing. What ways would you use your platform to support the LGBTQ youth in Madison Heights? What ways would you use your platform to support the LGBTQ plus youth in Madison Heights?
My platform? I don't know that I have a platform, but again.
Well, your platform as an elected official, as an elected official.
We've talked about it a ton, that Madison Heights is a it needs to keep continuing to try to be a very inclusive community. We do have an HREC committee that we try to run those kind of things by to make sure we're being open to that community. And just continue to try and make sure that we're not discriminating against anybody for their beliefs or race or color or anything else. So, just trying to make sure that we remain inclusive as a city. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Aaron?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So what ways would you use your platform, your elected official
Understand?
platform, to support the LGBTQ plus youth in Madison Heights?
This is a great question, and this question is in regards to children. So never will I ever have anything negative to say about a child. So whatever way that we can make certain that we're supporting our youth, I will make certain that support is granted for our youth. Making certain that they have resources where they can feel safe, being able to communicate those needs, because many times those youth that are suffering, I don't want to use the word suffering, so forgive me, those youth that are unsure of their sexual identity, many times they go through bouts of depression. They go through bouts of wanting to commit suicide. So we want to make certain that resources are available so that their mental health and their mental and their emotional regulation is being met, so that they are able to feel free to talk about what it is that they need. So I will make certain that resources are there so that they can have someone to talk to when they're afraid to talk to their parent.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Geralds?
Can I just say ditto to all of that, because I'm totally there, totally with everything she just said. We are, excuse me, the Arts Board does an Arts and Pride event. I have been on the board for 4 years previously of PRISM Gay Men's and Allies Chorus, and heavily involved in theater for years. I just truly believe that everybody should be able to live the life that they feel is their life and to love whoever they want to. So whatever we as a council or a city can do to help support that, I would be on board with.
Okay, thank you. This is going to be our final question. And we're going to start with Ms. Geralds. With the division of the north and south sides of our city, how are you planning to bridge Madison Heights to build community and stop this issue of divisiveness?
I think the city has been trying to make some good strides in doing more events in the South End and improving different programs and the parks. A lot of the good things have been happening in all areas of the city, and that's been a very concerted effort and one of their top priorities for the last few years. I would love to see more interactions in the community down in the South End and up in the North End, but where everybody is specifically invited to talk about ways to get involved, the things they'd like to do. It would be great to see some people from the South and from the North who share the same interests, who are going to form a committee group to achieve something new that isn't already being done in the city.
Okay, Mr. Mayor?
Okay, so, yeah, in the last couple of years on council, we've pushed to try and get more things done down on the south side. We are doing the 11-mile landscape or streetscape, trying to build a third space there that we've talked about. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. We're doing on October 4th, we're doing the downtown touchdown there to have some gathering for that third space that was mentioned earlier. October 11th, we're doing a fall harvest at Rosie's Park. We're also working on something that I can't talk too much about, that I'm pushing City Manager Marsh to lead a charge to do something really special with the south side of Rosie's Park. So we'll see how that pans out over the next 4 years, hopefully. But thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Aaron?
This question, I want to almost laugh. And the reason being, because I grew up in the city of Detroit. We've always had East Side, West Side. It's always been a rivalry. I'm from the West Side, you're from the East Side. Does that mean that we're not one city? We're still one city. South Side, North Side, we're still one city. So everybody is saying, take activities down on the South Side. We're one city. And as one city, we will come together and grow together. So if City Hall is here on the North Side, we didn't exclude the South Side from coming to the meetings. It's open. Let's work together. Let's beautify the South Side. Make the South Side where it's a place that you want to be more inviting. If it's not inviting, people won't come. We build it, they will come. The 11-mile streetscape, they will come because we're building it. And we will see in the years to come, we will no longer remember the day that we were arguing about 11 Mile being revamped. It's going to be, wow, how beautiful it is.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you all, and thank you for participating in our democratic process. We have, the League of Women Voters group here today. It's all recovering politicians, so we understand what you're going through. So thank you again for running, and thank you for being so.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah, we're going to, yeah, we're good. We're getting there. We're getting there. I just wanted to say that before we get into closing statements. And we're going to start, it's going to be 1 minute for closing statements. And Mr. Muir, you're going to start us off.
Thank you. I consider 3 of the other candidates up here friends of mine, and I will continue to regard them that after the election, no matter what happens. We've discussed a lot of the challenges facing the city today. Most important challenge that we have is staying united and addressing these issues. Only by working together can we successfully enhance our quality of life and move the city forward, strengthening our community. Creating community is our new city model. I have a strong financial background that I think will be helpful in making tough financial decisions over the next 4 years, especially as potential federal and state funding cuts loom. I appreciate your support and ask you to consider voting for me. Again, thank you to the League of Women Voters for having us here tonight and the opportunity to meet with you all today. Please remember to vote on November 4th and support your favorite candidates. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Geralds?
Thank you for inviting us here tonight. It's been nice to have this opportunity. I believe that my years of experience of leadership in not just one area, but being a board member in several groups for many years, not just for a year or two, have been beneficial for me in terms of learning how to collaborate, and engage with people. And I think that that would be a great strength on the council. I would be actually honored to serve with any of the people who are speaking today. So you have to write me in, though, if you want me. You have to actually write my name on the ballot. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Aaron?
Thank you. When the election happened in November 2023, I was devastated. I'm not going to lie. 250 votes is what I lost by. Nonetheless, I could have easily packed my bags up and walked away from the city, never to return. But I declared on that day, even during my last meeting as a council member, I stated that I will be back. I continue to work in the city. I am the co-chair for the Arts Board. I am the co-chair for the Zoning Board, and I am an active member of the Library Board. I make certain that everything I do in this city is being recognized. I'm raising my son in the city. My son, if many of you know, he's a very, very prominent, active member of a lot of organizations here. So voting for me is not about just Toya. Is truly about my love and commitment that I have for every person in this room and every person within the 7.1 miles of this city. Please vote for me.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So the League of Women Voters would like to thank the audience, the candidates, and the City of Madison Heights for making this forum possible. This presentation is copyrighted 2025 by the League of Women Voters. All rights are reserved. Any recording may only be shown in its entirety. For more nonpartisan information on these candidates, visit vote411.org. Rebroadcast times of this forum will be on the League of Women Voters website. The League of Women Voters is funded by contributions from concerned businesses and citizens. Our membership is open to men and women over the age of 16. So remember to vote on or before November 4th. Thank you.